Hello everyone, and welcome once again to another video for the channel. On this occasion, we will talk about new developments and things we know until today of the new Ice and Fire. And if you live under a rock, and you haven't found out yet for a few days, on the official Alexander Mobiles channel, the first trailer for this mod was uploaded, which by the way was named Magic Dweller. This is mainly to avoid attracting too much attention. And just imagine the amount of people who would come to him every day and night to ask when the mod would come out. That would add this, that there would be new dragons. Yes, it is not something very nice as you can imagine. Even being the possible cause of the cancellation of the first Ice and Fire Law. Pressure from the people always ends up killing inspiration. In this video, I want you to take some things I will say with caution, though. I will mention things that are 100% confirmed, and that others are only my speculations. Besides, I wanted to give it to him a little more time for this video to come out. New things, and not only. Let's make another video analyzing things from the trailer. So no, we are not going to mention absolutely none of that. Everything will be totally new or unrelated to that trailer.
Gracias.
First of all, let's talk about these dragons. We'll have a different appearance in each of its 5 phases, unlike before and only. Its coloration was what changed as it grew. As you can see, the more mature, this one will have much more pixels and details regarding its size. Here is a comparison of a level dragon. Phase 5 next to a Tremorzilla. Let us remember that this is one of the creatures larger than another of Alex's mods. So you can get an idea of the magnitude that we are talking. We are practically like an ant next to them. Another thing to highlight will be the huge improvement of the hitbox. Much better made and intuitive at the time of coming into contact with them, because before it was much more limited and primitive. But now, the question that many have been asking themselves, we will have the 3 original dragons, or there is even the possibility of adding more? And the answer is yes and no. Let me enlighten you. Something very important and what will give us the most clues. They are the paintings. Well, each creature in the mod will have at least one. And the following designs were recently revealed. Both of the fire dragon that we already saw in the trailer, the ice one and the electric one, in addition to others, nicknamed the poisonous and technological dragon. But sadly, the latter are a joke. And yes, I was one of those who maintained the hope that new dragons were added over time. But at least for now, it is not in the plans. Add new variants. More than anything for the moment, they will only focus on putting in all original mode content in creatures. That for one reason or another did not end up being added. Another thing confirmed in its day is that we will have at least 2 discs of each type of dragon. And in fact, we already have the preview of one of them. And speaking of sounds, we will also have the different ones. Roars of each dragon stage, starting with the smallest level one. Then level 2 and 3. And finally, the sounds of level 4 and 5 dragons. Okay, now, let's go with the next point. Questions and answers. Due to the huge number of people with certain doubts, Alex's team has decided open a kind of questions and answers. And here I can tell you that they are definitive answers. No theories or speculations. Since we could take it even as an absolute truth. One asks when the mod will be released. In short, not even they know it. They are people with their own lives who do not live it, working on this project day and night. And in some cases, there are even some complications. Normally, they usually give notice 1 day before their release, when they are already 100% sure that they are going to deliver what they have promised and according to people's expectations.
Es
It's nice to
agradable
see
ver
that
que
someone is
alguien sí
actually
se
trying,
esfuerza, mientras
while
que
the
los
others only
demás
do
solo hacen lo
as little as
mínimo
possible.
posible.
Question 2. For which version the mod is designed? And at least the first version we will have. It will be for 1.201. But don't worry. Well, with the passage, in time we may even arrive until 1.21. That is for those who play on 1.12. And I wouldn't get my hopes up too much either. That was a blow to the truth. Hurts. Question 3. What happens to the mobs that they showed one in Ice and Fire and they didn't arrive? There are no plans to remove any mobs at the moment. Regarding the previewed mobs that didn't arrive, we would like to do it, but some have been completely discarded. We are currently focusing mainly on adding the Ice and Fire creatures 1. Question 4. What is that sprite sheet? Basic that I see constantly. I made that sprite sheet a little while ago, before development of Ice and Fire 2 began, and will obviously be adjusted and edited for your result. Final question 5 perhaps will be, insert feature here in some version. The initial version will include almost all related content with the first 3 dragons. In addition to the elemental dragons themselves, there may be additional features. But don't wait, enemies apart from dragons and the wizard. Question 6. We will one day have another type of elemental dragon. No, these dragons take too long. Yes, as you can see, they are not people who overwork. But hey, at least they work harder than Mohang.
¡Cállate!
Question 7. Will the Wendigo be added to Ice and Fire? No questioning. How many stages do dragons have? Each elemental dragon will have a total of 5 stages. Question 9. What was that structure that appears? At the end of the trailer, all the trailer structures will be included in the mod. The castle where they lived, the players was built by them. The wizard tower and all dragon structures will be included in the mod. The stage dragons, 3 can be found on the surface in their nests. The stage dragons, 4 can be found underground. And level 5 dragons will be found in strongholds. The dens and fortresses will have at least one entrance that connects to the surface, or a cave system. Question 10. What are the armor sets shown? In the trailer, 3 new armor sets are shown. In the trailer, the silver armor will replace mineral generation of gold and snowy biomes, and will appear in villager chests. The silver nuggets, they can also be obtained by killing devastators. The mechanics, the golden apple decoration has been moved to the silver apples. Silver armor is an upgrade. Secondary iron grants 0.5 more holy ore points for each piece. What prevents and that the monsters of type undead detect you at close range? And the coat of arms of silver will also repel the undead with much more force. The bronze remains will appear at the bottom of the ocean, in deep oceans and related chests, such as inside sunken ships. The bronze armor, it is a secondary improvement of the diamond one. Each piece grants an additional 0.5% chance to dodge. The shield is currently under development. Dragon scales will be better than diamond, giving 15% resistance to the dragon's fire breath per piece. The shield absorbs dragon breath and releases it as an area to attack. Question 11. How many colors will each dragon have? Each dragon will have a total of 4 colors. The fire one will have fire red, emerald green, golden yellow, and volcanic gray. The ice one will have the colors cyan, ice, sapphire blue, silver white, and tundra brown. And as for the lightning, we still have no information. Question 12. Can I use the Explorer mod compass to be able to find structures of this mod? And here they only responded with a hum. Maybe this will make them think about it, but most likely not. This takes on much more strength with the following question. Question 13. What was the wizard in the trailer? It's a new monster. There is a magic system in this mod. The mod does not have a magic system. The wizard is a new villager profession that will appear in the wizard tower, and your workstation is your orb. The magician will exchange maps with dragon structures in exchange for a dragon skull of a lower level. The magicians, they will use elemental attacks to fight dragons, even being able to use spells to convert enemies. In frogs, the more you trade with the wizard, stronger it will become, and finally, depending on where we find the magician, this will have a different appearance, also including jungle and swamp skins. Question 14, will it be possible to create a mod that adds more dragon colors or even new dragon types? In Ice and Fire 2, Alex created a record in Forge of the elemental dragons and its colors, which will allow mod developers add new scale colors and dragon elements.
¡Qué buena noticia!
Question 15, how egg theft works. In the trailer, both structures had eggs. All dragons now have eggs. Dragon genders were removed from Ice and Fire. So all the dragons of the stages 4 and 5 will now have 1 for eggs. In its structure, steal an egg. Without killing the dragon, it will give you an effect that will make appear near you when you are near a village. And here I want everyone to stand up and applaud me, because I mentioned this in a previous video. And let's see when they're going to stop doubting me. And I come from the future, people. Question 16, dragons can still break blocks. Dragons will now only break blocks like last resort and will try to find ways around them. Dragons in underground structures, they will not be able to dig tunnels to climb to the surface. In other words, they will be able to continue breaking blocks but a much smaller magnitude. Question 17, in which biomes will dragons appear? These are the confirmed biomes where they can appear. The fire dragons will appear in plains biomes. All forest variants. This includes both birch and dark forest. Taiga grassland variants. Snow-covered hills, and above all, in desert biomes. The ice dragons will appear in all snow biome variants, and the frozen ocean. The lightning dragons will appear in savanna biomes. Cherry grove jungle variants. Jagged peaks, mangrove swamps, and especially in the Badlands. And where definitely will not appear are the deep dark biomes. The Pale Garden, when this isn't an available version. And the mushroom biome. Question 18. How dragon growth works. In the new version, the growth of dragons is very different. Dragons must be fed daily, and they have a hunger quota to meet in order to grow. You can use a scroll to view your dragon's information, including how much more you need to eat. Dragons need more food every day, and in later stages, require more than 1 pile of food a day to be able to grow. You can feed dragons meat, or the new dragon fruit, and living animals will have many more points when feeding them with them. Dragon food will no longer cause dragons to increase in size instantly now. These will be made with dragon bone meal instead of normal bones. And every day you give a dragon food to a dragon, this will grow 1 more day, as long as hunger requirements are met. In a nutshell, we must feed it with a certain amount of dragon food every day, making your growth much slower. And not like before, we could give him a huge amount of food so that it would grow instantly. Question 19. What are those things that look like doors? Those are portcullis, which will be made with dragon bones. The portcullis, they go up and down with redstone signals and infringe damage proportional to the fall time to the enemies below. Something like a kind of guillotine. Question number 20. Dragon steel was not in the trailer. We can find this in the mod. Yes, dragon steel is still planned for the mod, and it is very likely that it is for the version of launch, and we do not yet know if the damage values, they will be the same or different. But now, obtain dragon steel will be conditioned to kill a level 5 dragon in a fortress. Necessarily, but good for now. This is all the most important information I could rescue to this day. As I said, all these questions and answers are totally reliable since I came from Alex's team to free us from important doubts, but ignoring some others. That would be too revealing, yes. If you would like a second part showing new advances, you can leave it in the comments box. And it's more, we're going to do something a little different this time. Now, I want everyone to comment on what is your favorite Ice and Fire dragon? The fire one, the ice one, or the electric one like that. We will see which of all these is the most popular of all. So said, with that I say goodbye, and I hope you have a nice day. Ciao.